Theophilus Ude, a 17-year-old man, has been arrested by the police for allegedly killing his son Sunday over food. Related dispute in Egbe Eziama Olokpokwo, Omochi local government area of the state. According to the state police public relations officer ASP Maureen Chinaka, the incident occurred on February 25, 2024 and was reported to the divisional police headquarters in Usuochi on February 26, 2024. Upon receiving the information, detectives from the Usuochi divisional headquarters visited the crime scenes, removed and deposited the corpse at the mortuary for autopsy. Exhibits were recovered and the suspect was subsequently arrested. The case has been transferred to State Criminal Investigation Department for discreet investigation. Our correspondents gathered that Ude did not eat his food in the morning and came back home feeling hungry to eat the food, only to discover that the deceased had returned home earlier and ate the last portion of the food in the pot inside the kitchen, which unknown to him was his father's meal. However, anger, the suspect was dashed into his room, brought out his gun and fired his son, killing him on the spot. Ude, the source father said, was promptly apprehended by members of the community who tied his two hands and placed him on the lifeless body of his son at the village square. Theophilus, who was seen in a widely circulated video in possession of our correspondent, was remorseful and pleaded for mercy while blaming his action on the devil, citing that he regretted what he did. Dr. Kochi, I wonder why you were laughing. A 70-year-old man killing his son like... Okay, the age was not cited here. But a 70-year-old man. Of course, you know, there's something that we are certain about, that death is inevitable. Whether you like it or not, one day you will die. And this is 70-year-old, believing that he doesn't have up to 10 years to live. Children are supposed to bury their parents. And then a father at his age is killing his son because of food. Because of food. You went into the room, pick up a gun, and shot your son to death at instant because your son ate your food. And he's saying that it's a handwork of devil. Why do we keep blaming the devil for what we intentionally, the act that was intentionally carried out?
Well, Immaculata, you are wondering why I am laughing. It's a mockery of our system. Many viewers and many Nigerians may not look at it in a very simplistic fashion, the way we may want to present it. This is a reflection of the mood in the country. That's just the truth. And these are the things we keep saying in Society Watch, that we are bringing this country to our knees. Okay, see. You think it's just food? People are hungry. It is very likely the old man has budgeted his food. The text says he did not eat in the morning. It was a deliberate choice because he's limited. If he eats in the morning, he won't find food in the afternoon. He may not find food in the evening. So he has budgeted that in this period of scarcity, let me sacrifice my morning meal, my breakfast. If I eat in the afternoon, it can lead me till night. At least I've eaten a day, only to return. And that food mistakenly has been eaten. And he went berserk. This is a microcosm of what is going on. If you remember your Bible very well, it got to a point in Israel where mothers were even slaughtering their children to cook and eat. This is an issue that is beyond the man. It's a reflection of Nigeria.
So are you saying that for a septuagenarian to kill his son because of food, that is depicts end?
It simply depicts what this country has led us to.
And not the end time.
I'm not praying that this should continue, but people must understand that this government has led us to this point.
Dr. Okochi, are you blaming the government for this? It's not a youth. It's a septuagenarian we're talking about. It's not a youth. It's not because of okay, my son. Maybe let's say my son duped me or something. We are talking about food, and this food we're talking about is not like, let me say, one pot of something we are talking about here. A man at this age pick a gun, killed his son because of food, and you're blaming the government?
Because you are looking at food. We are looking at society. That's why it's called Society Watch. Government has created conditions under which ordinary food can lead to people's death. Where is food now? Where is money? Where is fuel? Where is anything? Where is anything in this country?
So now that he's saying that his action is tied to the devil, it was a handwork of the devil. I mean, what happened?
It's the devil that is also leading the government.
So the devil will go
to tighten things for us. It's the same devil is leading the government, leading everybody, and meanwhile, they have food that they are wasting. Their dogs are eating. Their cats are eating. But human beings are rationing food to the point that a 70-year-old man is so angry that his only morsel of meal has been taken, and then he goes berserk and kills his child. Who is providing food for this country?
So do you think it should be forgiven?
The government should first go to jail.
Dr. Okochi, you are saying that the government should go to jail on behalf of a man that killed
Sure. We talk of Ministry of Humanitarian whatever, and what we hear is that billions of money budgeted have been stolen by somebody.
Dr. Okochi, remember that this is a child that he has trained for let's say over 30-something years, and not just 2-year-old boy. All right?
I agree.
And you are saying that the government should go to jail first
for creating the conditions.
Yes, the man is asking for forgiveness, that it was a handwork of the devil. Yes. And of course, the devil cannot, there is no way the devil can face the law. There is no way the devil can be persecuted.
That's true, yeah.
It has to be the man.
That's true.
But now that he has pointed out his reason for this act, what should happen to him?
I'll share something with you quickly, then we can move on. When the story of a woman, 2 women agreed during famine in Israel, Ma, auntie, we will eat your child today, tomorrow to be my own child. They ate the first boy, but the following day, this other woman hid the son. And when the story got to the king of Samaria, the king said, the Bible says the king tore his clothes. It was a sign that, oh, this is caused by us. This man may go to jail, no problem. But government should also go to jail. Government should show that we have led Nigerians to this point. Tear our clothes, not buy SUVs.
It's quite unfortunate that that was that generation, and this is a new generation, and people think differently. May the soul of the departed rest in peace. And now on education. The Owerri Zone of Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, in Anambra State, has expressed dismay over the consistent payments of the same salary to its members for the past 15 years. The union also raised concern about the neglect of the FGN-ASU agreement of 2019 by both the federal and various state governments. Regarding the repositioning of public universities for national development, Dennis Aribodo, the Owerri ASU National Zonal Coordinator, highlighted these issues during a press conference at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Akwa, on Tuesday. He noted that both the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari and its incumbent President Ahmed Tinubu has failed to address the main element of the 2019 agreement that led to the nationwide strike action from February to October 2022. Franked by the other executive members of the zonal union, Aribodo also disclosed that academic staff in public universities have on the same salary structure for 15 years. He said his press conference is intended to update Nigerians on developments since the suspension of our last national strike action on Friday, October 14, 2022, and our agreement with the current administration since its inception. ASU is a patriotic organization committed to national development and should be taken very seriously when she talks. The renegotiation of the FGN-ASU agreement of 2019 has dragged for 7 years since 2017. The reluctance of the federal government to conclude the renegotiation in the season is the reason why the government's committee has had 3 chairmen for Wale Babalakin through Mozili Jibri to Nimi Briggs. This means that academic staff in our universities have been on the same salary structure for 15 years. We urge the President Bola administration to speedily put a final disclosure to the renegotiation by directly an upward review in view of current economic realities and signing of draft agreements reached with the Nimi Bridge Committee. The most obvious application of the truncation of the renegotiation of the agreement is that university teachers in Nigeria have been on the same salary regime since 2019, when the value of the naira of the dollar was 120 as against 1,800 today. Now, do you expect to get the best from lecturers with this kind of development? We are worried that the pace of development is not what we expected. In public universities, lecturers are living in droves to other countries, even in Africa. We don't want that to continue. We want the president to tackle these issues to avoid a situation where the universities will continue to turn out half-baked graduates. Today, a professor in a university earns less than $300. How do you expect that professor to perform this best? We are also calling on the federal government to make budgetary allocation to the educational sector to be not less than 26% of the total annual budget. Education should not be commercialized because Nigerians are too poor. Dr. Okochi, it's a good thing that you are a teacher and you are here with me. It is stated here that teachers have been on the same salary since 2019. And we are complaining that teachers are not given the best in class. The salaries are not even paid as it ought to be. Most times, 9 months, 7 months, the salary has not even come. There have never been an increase. And then you see that in the government, in the House of Rep, in the House of Assembly, and so have you, they are increasing their wages, they are increasing their salaries. But here, the people producing those in government house, the people producing those in the House of Rep, their salaries have not been reviewed. Let me hear from you because you are one of them. How do you people feel about this?
But it's good now that we are seeing where the blame is. That is what we keep saying. Government creates adverse conditions for crisis. You have rightly said it. They are upwardly reviewing theirs constantly. And these are the ones they review and the ones they tell us are the ones we know. We don't even know the ones on the ground that they are stealing. And these ones that are legit for 15 years are stagnated. And now, the salary, look at the analysis. The salary that was received in 2009, when the dollar was 120 naira
So 1,800
to a dollar is the same salary being received now that the dollar is 1,800. Look at from 120 naira to 1,800. Theirs is astronomically increased and that of lecturers is stagnated. And when there is a crisis now, we'll start asking, must we blame government? Who do we blame here now?
All right, Dr. Okochi, I know that if
who do we blame here now?
I know if you want to talk about the problems here, we will not end. Now, let's look at this. I know that ASU one or twice, they have been going on strike, all right, in order to get the attention of the federal government to do the needful. But most times, it's not always full bread that is being given. It's always half, all right?
Or even less than half.
Or less than half. And as it stands now, this is actually worrisome that since 2019, the salary of lecturers and the teachers have remained the same.
2009.
So what do you think?
15 years.
What do you think is the next step to take for the federal government to do the needful? Because it seems the protest is no longer the way forward.
But that's the...
And strike is equally no longer the way forward. So what should be done?
But that is what will happen eventually. Why? Because the other processes that are more civil, I've said this over and over, the processes that are more civil, like negotiations, come to the table, have a meeting, you can hear what, you can see what they said, that it has been series of meetings until it has been truncated. Because the parties involved are not faithful. The local governments are not faithful. The state governments are not faithful. The federal government is not faithful. And then ASU just goes there, sits and waits, and nobody does anything. They come and talk and talk and talk, and they go back. And 15 years, it's been the same thing. So the next thing now will be strike. Who do you blame?
So suggesting that 26% should go into educational sector, do you think it's going to be possible by just saying it without, doing something extra? Because it seems if you don't do something extra in Nigeria, the governments don't give attention. So do you think it's possible?
What he is saying is that is the idea. But we know that this country is not even an ideal country, let alone carry out ideal policies. The country itself is not an ideal country. We will keep having crises until the day this country goes down.
All right.
Because we're not willing to build the country, so let it go down.
This is for the viewers out there. And now we are seeing this, that since 2019,
2009.
2009, I mean to say,
15 years.
The salary of lecturers and teachers have not been reviewed. It has remained the same, looking at the rise in dollar as it stands right now. What do you think is the next step they should take? Because protest is no longer the solution, like I said, and even strike is not even working.
And negotiations are not also working.
What should be the next step? This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll just go on a very short break. Do stay with us.
When peace like a
The Jogu family of Umunna in Amuju in Isu, local government area of Imo State, cheerfully mourn the demise of their daughter, sister and mother, prophetess Kola Ijoma Ijogu, whose event occurred on Saturday, 5th of January 2024 at UPTH. Burial arrangement, night of tribute. Date is Thursday, the 29th of February 2024. Time is 4 p.m. and venue is Wish Complex, Wish Avenue Radio Estate, NTA Road, Uzoba, Port Harcourt. Burial service, Order of God of Abraham Ministries. Date Sunday, the 3rd of March 2024. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue Umunna in Izu, local government area of Imo State. Retirement follows immediately after service. She is survived by Mrs. Roslyn Obona, mother, Raphael, Richard, and Wisdom sons, Sonny Ejogu, Ugochukwu Ejogu, Chukwudi Ejogu as brothers, and Kechinere Sebastian sister. May her soul rest in peace. Sign, Apostle Sonny Ejogu and Senior Leader Raphael Ukudiri Ejogu on behalf of the family.
Welcome back. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and now the rest of our stories. The Minister for Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohaneye, has advised women to remain calm and avoid arguing with their husbands at home. She made this appeal during a conference of commissioners of State Ministry of Women Affairs in Nigeria held in Abuja on Wednesday. Kennedy Ohaneye emphasized that refraining from arguments could prevent physical assault and that may result in injury or death. She said, I am equally begging my women not to look for trouble, not even at home, maintaining peace in your home, because if a home is peaceful, a woman has 80% to contribute to that. If you need peace, you can equally achieve it. Keep your mouth shut. Talking back does not yield fruit. Rather, it leads to death and destruction. It leads to bringing up bad children for society. Keep your mouth shut. It does not make you a fool, but a wise person. When a man is shouting and saying all sorts of things, act like a fool and keep your mouth shut. After a while, watch him. If he's a good man, he will come back to apologize. If he's not a good one, ignore him. Have what you want to do in your mind, but when he shows who we fight back, most times it leads to hitting. You could be injured. The same man that injures you will come back to say, I am sorry. What will you do? Will you kill him? Even if we come out to fight for you and you lose your one eye, we are going to replace the eye. Are we going to replace the eye? So prevention is better than cure. The minister called for signing of a law that will prevent a mobile court to try gender and sexual-based offenses. Dr. Okochi, the Minister of Women Affairs, is saying that women should shut their mouth when their man is shouting, their husband. And again, he's saying that if unnecessary arguments can actually lead to, can bring a negative impact on children. So when a man is shouting, abusing the wife, and then the children are there, the mother is quiet, not saying anything because she wants to make sure that there is peace at home. What is the tendency that the children would not be equally impacted negatively?
Well, I will begin by addressing the Honorable Minister. You see, what she has said is because the country is getting increasingly volatile and people are getting increasingly aggressive, especially for men. That is what is leading her to give this counsel. Not because shutting up is an ideal thing, but you see, for her, and which is simple logic, it's better I'm quiet as a wife than I am dead because I wanted to reply. Otherwise, in a loving relationship, it should be discussion.
Yeah, Dr.
Yeah,
Kochi, I'm not against that, all right? It's actually a good advice that she has given here, that if your husband is shouting at you,
because it's an aggressive man,
if your husband is abusing you,
yes,
you don't have to talk. That doesn't make you a fool. Just act like you don't know what is going on. If he is a good man, he will come back to apologize to you.
Your life,
If he's not a good man and he doesn't come to apologize, whatever thing you want to do, keep it in mind. Don't say it out, all right?
Yeah.
But the children aspect, saying that when there is unnecessary argument at home, that it will impact the children negatively. So when the man is shouting and the woman is on the quiet side because she doesn't want problem, she doesn't want issues to escalate, won't that still impact negatively on the children?
It will. So the thing should be balanced, actually.
It's not balanced here.
Well, it is
I'm
not
trying to defend my gender.
Yeah, it's true, but it's not going to be balanced because she's Minister for Women Affairs. So she's talking about, this is a studio for us
you're the
now.
Minister for Men Affairs right now.
Exactly. That's what I'm coming to now. But this is society watch, and society has to do with men and women. So we're going to balance it.
All right,
men should not be terrorists at home. What is wrong with your wife replying? You said something, she has a mind of her own. And then you didn't marry a robot. You didn't marry an AI, whatever. You didn't marry a device. You married a human being that has feelings, that has emotions, and has thoughts and projections. And then you are creating an atmosphere that terrorizes her so she cannot talk. No.
So, Dr. Okochi,
no,
as the Minister of
both men and women,
yes. Not both men now. You are the Minister of Men Affairs. So women should say something when their husband is ranting.
See, I agree with the minister because in a volatile environment, in an inflammable condition, save your safety first before even opinion. That's what she's trying to say. Not that it is an ideal situation. If it was an ideal, like you and I are talking now, how many times have I threatened to slap you? But that's why you can express yourself. But assuming it is a volatile, inflammable, dangerous situation, that's why the woman is saying, save your life. Otherwise, the ideal thing is let's talk.
There is to talk.
Let's talk.
All right, my women, my beautiful women out there, I join with the Minister of Women Affairs to say, Oju,
And the Minister of Men here.
and Minister of Men Affairs here to say to, if your husband is shouting at you unnecessarily, aggressively
yes.
talking to you,
threatening type,
threatening you,
yes.
just keep your mouth shut. It will make you a fool. It is better to prevent unnecessary issues. Save your neck first, because life is one. If you go, your husband will marry another person and marry well. So in the midst of violence, just stay clear.
But if you have a friendly partner,
of course you can talk if it is friendly.
It will be nice talking.
All right, the next story for today is on economy. President Bola Tinubu has restated his decision to restructure Nigeria as previously pledged. Nonetheless, he stressed the significance of establishing a strong foundation beforehand. Tinubu made this declaration during a visit to Pierre Ruben Fasorinti, the national leaders of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afim Fury, in Akure, Ondo State on Wednesday. Quoting the president, Ajayi said, on the issues of restructuring, the president acknowledged the need for it, but stressed the importance of establishing a strong foundation before implementing it. He emphasized that rushing into restructuring without a solid foundation could lead to its collapse, but assured that it will be done properly. He said that when he took the oath of office, he pledged his allegiance to Nigerians, that he knows what he is facing. Tinubu said, I pray for it, I danced for it, I campaigned for it, and I got it. I know the numerous responsibilities, so don't pity me, Baba. Just sit down and relax. He assured Nigerians that he understood the struggles and that he is trying to build the structures that will be reversed. The president said that the structure he's trying to put in place in Nigeria economically, socially, and politically would be such that it would bring Nigeria back to where it's supposed to be. On the hardship Nigerians are facing, appreciate the pains Nigerians are going through and say that very soon Nigerians would overcome it. That is a matter of time. He said that the kind of the policies government is implementing will bring positive solution to the challenges. He said that Nigerians should grow our food, that we should eat the food we grow, doing what would warn us from depending on food from foreign source. Responding, Pa Fasolanti said, your performance so far has shown that you understand the full gravity of your mandate, which is to show the Nigerian people that a good government is possible. In Yoruba land, we do not seek for any special treatment or unfair advantage. We know you are our own, but you now belong to all Nigerians. Your mandate was freely given by the people of Nigeria and blessed by God. Therefore, Mr. President, continue to govern fairly and courageously and with the fear of God. That is what we expect. That is what we know you will do. You know that since the annulment of June 12, 1993, presidential election, the Yoruba people led by the Afin Fury has been at the forefront of the campaign for the restructuring of Nigeria. It is now incumbent on you to address this issue of constitutional reform with courage, fairness, and determination. We know we cannot return to the past, but we have to seek a future where regional competition will bring out the best in our country, as it will bring our first republic. Dr. Okochi, Our president is saying that, of course, he understands the pains that Nigerians are going through. He is the one that campaigned for this position. He danced into the office. He equally got it. And he also knows that he's willing and ready to make Nigeria to work. He's saying that if he just bring restructuring without putting a strong foundation, it will definitely collapse. Do you agree with the president? Even though we know that agreeing and not agreeing does not really hold water. But do you agree with him?
To begin with apologies to the office of the president. I don't even know if the president understands what restructuring is. You see, why I'm saying this, it's not to make a fool of him, but it's to let the world know that the term restructuring means different things to different people. Immaculata, viewer, for some, restructuring means split the country. That's for some, especially along regional and ethnic lines. That's for some, restructuring. For others, restructuring means reduce the intake to the center and let the peripheries, the states, have more. For them, that is the meaning of restructuring. That is, for them, it is like the center has too much money. Bring down your own and give us more. For them, if you do that, you have done restructuring. That's another meaning of restructuring. Like I said, the first meaning of restructuring for some people is split this country, everybody go your way, to your tent, to Israel. For some, that's restructuring. For others, center, reduce the amount you are taking. Give us more. If you do so, it's restructuring. But do you know that for others, restructuring also means completely different thing. Restructuring for others means the issues of political offices, we are not getting it as much from our zone, so give us more. So people just have different meanings of restructure. So if the president says, I want to restructure, are you going to restructure on the different meanings of restructuring? It can't work.
Dr. Okochi.
It can't work.
Dr. Okochi.
Yes.
You just define different meanings of restructuring.
Yes.
What you understand by restructuring might not be the same with another.
Yes, that's true.
For the president to come out to say he is trying to build a strong foundation before restructuring so that Nigeria can go back to what it should be. It means that he understands what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing.
Yes, his own
because
definition.
He's the president of Nigeria.
I agree with you. His own definition of restructuring is the one he understands. Does he understand the other options of the meaning of restructuring?
Don't you think if he wants to work with your own understanding of restructuring, that we might never get the better Nigeria that we want?
Now you have come to my point, which means there will be no restructuring that is meaningful to this country. It will only be one-sided. He will restructure the way he wants it. After 8 years he leaves, another person will come, and then there will be another firing, restructuring. And if the person says, but the other person restructured, say, no, he didn't restructure according to our definition. It will be an endless endeavor in this country.
And then what if the case is not what exactly you were talking about?
Say it again.
What if the case is not what you were saying? What if the president finally restructured this country to what we have always cried for?
See, Immaculata, I don't know whether you are getting my point. See, let's give you an instance. IPOB, is IPOB going to restructure? Is IPOB defining restructuring according to the president?
Dr. Kochi, what exactly do we want in Nigeria? Let me hear from you. We want a better economy, right? We want the country to be secure,
yes.
like insecurity free,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And then we want inflation to, of course, as long as the economy is stable, inflation, it will come down. Things will be easy for a common man to get, right. And we also want
I doubt,
that we also want a situation that we will be a production company, a country, and not as in we can export but not importing, right?
Yeah.
So when the president is talking about restructuring, don't you think he's putting all of this thing in place? Say, okay, this is what will happen. But you just define restructuring the way you understand.
I have told you that, see, the president is dealing with restructuring based on his own understanding. But there is no single meaning of restructuring for Nigerians.
And you feel that his
Yes.
own understanding of restructuring
yes,
is not what Nigerians want.
It's not going to be for 222
But
million Nigerians.
Why do you think it is not what Nigerians want when he has not even restructured yet? He's saying that he's building a strong foundation. So how come you're able to read his mind already?
Foundation for what?
Are you judging him based on what is happening already?
Of course, I am saying that the president, his understanding of restructuring is not a general understanding of restructuring. Restructuring has more than 10 meanings, and he's going to approach it one way. What happens to the 9? What happens to the remaining 9 meanings? And I've just given you an example. Is he going to restructure in such a way that IPOB will eventually say, we have accepted? Because you have people who are saying, split this country. Let's go our separate ways. Is that what the president is going to do? No. So will that satisfy those people who are defining restructuring as split the country? That's what I'm saying. There is no composite way of doing it. Let him do his own.
Dr. Okoche,
but it won't be satisfactory to everybody.
Why not emphasize on the fact that the president said he's building a strong foundation?
How can you build a strong foundation when the resources, the materials you are using for building a strong foundation are already feeble and are collapsing? Is this the country we are building a strong foundation? Do you know how much I pay to come to this studio now?
All right, Dr. Okoche, let's see what our president will do. Of course, we still have faith. We still believe and hope that
leave those things.
He will
They are not serious. They are not serious. Sincerely speaking, the government is not serious about this country. They just want to own whatever they can gather, and then when their tenure is over, they go. Are they building the country?
Dr. Okoche, it's like you're reading the book by the cover. Don't you think so?
We are pained. We started with a man who shot his son because of food. How many others are dying without being reported here because of the issue of food? You are building, laying foundation on feeble things, on death of citizens, on no food, no fuel, no roads, no security.
Dr. Okoche, don't you think that at the end we will rejoice about the subsidy removal, over the subsidy removal, even though it's affecting a lot of persons now?
I won't talk.
All right, so let's look at the last story for today. Joseph Aloba, the father of the late singer Iloruwa Aloba, alias Mohbad, has called on the Nigerian police to summon the wife of the deceased son, Omo Umi, to provide insight into the death of his son. In the application signed by the legal team, the witnesses requested to testify before the court include Ayobami Fashola, aka Spending, Oluwawati, Adeyomo, aka Darosha, and Ibrahim Owoduni, aka Prime Boy, all of whom were with the deceased at the material time. Meanwhile, the Aloba family, in a statement sent to reporters on Wednesday, Mohbad's father said Omawumi testimony would also be instrumental in shedding more light on the circumstances leading to the death. The statement read in part, it came to our attention that Omawumi Adebanjo, the wife of the late Mohbad, has expressed her knowledge of critical information related to his death. We urge the relevant authorities to extend an invitation to Omawumi Adebanjo to provide her testimony and insight into this strategic event. We believe that her cooperation and testimony could be instrumental in shedding light on the circumstances leading to Mohbad's dismiss. Okay, so Dr. Okoche, it's quite unfortunate that Mohbad's death is still lingering. Of course, investigation is still ongoing, but of course, we saw in a report about 30 minutes video clips where police actually came up with a report. They exhumed Mohbad's body in order to carry out appropriate investigation, and that was done, and they came up with a report. But the wife was also there giving testimony, but now she's saying that she knows something that they don't allow her to speak, that are threatening her, the same people that threaten the husband. So do you think if she come up with something, despite the report that the police has given, that it will still go a long way? in this investigation?
Well, Immaculata, I do not know really whether the police have come to a conclusion, or what they have is preliminary reports. I doubt if they have really come to a concluding point, because this thing is, for some people, is lingering. But here is my point. I am not an expert in homicides and in investigative matters, but here is my lay person's amateur view, because I have been asked to answer it. It is obvious to me and to millions of people who are observing that Mohbad's death is a result of a conspiracy.
All right, so we will continue from there.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Okochi.
Yes.
For joining me on this show today. Thank you, our viewers, for joining us. I am Immaculata Ibrikana. You can join us on Facebook and YouTube at Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net, website atlanticnetwork.tv. You can also get our app from Play Store, Atlantic Television Network, YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching, and continue to stay connected on ATM Socials. Good afternoon.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
When peace like a
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but